Well, welcome back to today's new notebook. With Christmas just around the corner, it's a time where people spend time with their families, loved ones, and whether you're working or not, but it's just mostly a time of giving and making a sacrifice to that, and just pretty much the inspiration and seasonal greetings and everything. And joining me today is Thomas Fellows, who is an author, and we're here to discuss the gift of the Magi. Thomas, how are you doing today?
Yes, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So just talk about the gift of the Magi, what it is, and just about the book. I know you analyze it, but just
Yes.
what it's about.
Well, there's a strong connection between sacrifice and love. I say in my first book, Forget Self-Help, Reexamining the Golden Rule, that you never really love somebody unless you're willing to sacrifice for them. Without sacrifice, there is no love. So in this short story, there's Jim and Della Young, who are a poor young couple in New York. And Jim is most proud of his watch. Della is most proud of her hair. And Della ends up cutting off her hair and selling it to buy Jim a watch chain. And Jim ends up selling his watch to buy Della a comb. And they realize they've sacrificed the most important thing to them. Because they've done so, they've found true love.
Okay. And one of the reasons you're saying the sacrifice and everything like that, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
That is one of, I believe, a quote from him you like to share?
Yes. He's been a very heavy influence on my life, especially because I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And he once said, as long as there's poverty in the world, you'll never be rich. As long as diseases are rampant, or as long as diseases are rampant, I will never be totally healthy. I'll never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be.
Mm-hmm. And that's just a powerful quote from Dr. Martin Luther King. Just with the Book of the Magi, especially around this time, what do you feel like with Christmas and everything? How does this book relate to that?
Well, I would say you've got to give the advantage to the other person in the relationship. My mentor, Bill McDermott, is the CEO of ServiceNow. He used to be the CEO of SAP. And he made $165 million last year. And you would think that he would do so because he was greedy, but it wasn't that at all. Even from an early age at Xerox, he was able to achieve over 1,000% of his quota because he was customer obsessed. And he was able to get references. Every single customer of his was referenceable because he was so customer obsessed and so obsessed with customer service. And that really started from an early age when he owned his own deli at age 16 to pay his way through college. So when you give the advantage to the other person in the relationship, you will be successful in life and make the world a better place.
That's perfectly said, Thomas. And just one more thing, just for the viewers, in your opinion, with the gift of the Magi, how will it relate to the Christmas season? How they can inspire others just to make the sacrifice and just the meaning of giving?
I would say giving. The best way to help yourself is to help others. That's the point that I make in my first book. And that's so true, especially around this season of high inflation. We're coming off COVID. Just remember that, if you're feeling down, the best way to get up is to, deny yourself and focus on others.
And Thomas, if anyone wants to find your books, where can we find those?
You can find them at Barnes & Noble and also on Amazon.
All right. Thank you. Thomas, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And if you want to find this interview and more, just go to our community section at kcbd.com. And if you would like to submit a new notebook, you can go to kcbd.com as well. Stay with us. We'll be right back.